the land of sun and wind. The land of unique culture strongly connected to the forest. The land of elephants that have become legendary. And the land of coffee aroma. I've dreamt of that land for long, and now it's time for me to discover the Central Highlands of Vietnam. If one day you wake up on this plateau, then do not miss the chance to sip a cup of coffee here. I love drinking coffee in the morning. At the moment I'm in the heart of the coffee culture of Vietnam, and I'm looking forward to find out about new things of this culture. My first destination is the Museum of Ethnic Culture in Dak Lak province, to learn about the coffee culture in the Central Highlands. The history of coffee in the Central Highlands in general, and Dak Lak province in particular, has been displayed in this museum. Coffee followed French missionaries into Vietnam in the 19th century. The French thoroughly examined the soil, climate and altitude in the Central Highlands to open coffee plantations. Dak Lak is the leading province in Vietnam in terms of coffee growing area. Almost every district in Dak Lak grows coffee. The coffee plant occupies a unique position, which no other plants are comparable to, in the basalt red soil. If you picture Vietnam, you would think about rice fields. Now, when I think about the Central Highlands, I picture hills and coffee. That stood out really for me. This the sheer size of the coffee plantations here. I come to Dak Lak in the right season to see the coffee blossom. The coffee blossom season usually lasts from February to April, with 2 or 3 blooming times. It's my first time here ever at a coffee plantation, and I'm happily surprised. It's the beautiful blossom that stands out for me. But what really was cool that we just had a massive thunderstorm, so a lot of rain, and after that you got the smell, the beautiful smell of the blossom, which really surprised me, because I always thought like coffee is like a bean, so it'd probably be somewhere under the ground, but it's just growing here. So after the blossom you will get the coffee, and not only is the coffee delicious, the blossom itself is beautiful, and the smell of it after the rain, spectacular. I'm truly happily surprised. The coffee flowers bloom each time from 7 to 10 days, then wither and begin to bear fruit. Caring for the coffee plant during this fruit-bearing period is critical. I met Itam Eban, a coffee grower who has grown the plant for a long period of his life, to learn more about how to take care of coffee trees.
Làm cà phê thì trong tháng này là mình chăm cách hết cành khô để nó nuôi dưỡng lại trái. Cái chăm sóc cà phê là rất nhiều công. Vì ngày nào như ngày nào mình.
Đây là anh co được cắt không?
Cái này không được. Này
Tại sao?
nó ra hoa sau này là nó bắt đầu trái đây như đây này.
Ở đây á?
Đây nó mới ra nụ đây này.
Vâng.
Ngày nào tưới là bắt đầu nó mới ra hoa.
Ok rồi.
Tưới là không cắt.
Vâng ạ.
Chỉ mà cắt cành khô thôi.
Ở đây là không được đó.
Không được cắt cành khô đây thôi.
Đi đây á. So you can see what I'm doing here is I cut the branches that are dying off or that are not blossoming. Without the blossom, there will be no coffee bean. I'll show you. This is a branch that is working perfectly fine. This is the old blossom over here. And you can see here as well, you got the first coffee bean growing on the branch. So that one we shouldn't cut. And the one here, for example, you see that the dead part, you have to cut it off, so the good part of the branch can still grow and continue to develop new coffee beans. Okay. Oops, that was the wrong one. Look, I was thinking, looking at this part here, you got all the dead and the not blossoming part. So I cut it off, but it was hanging in here, so I didn't see it properly, and now I cut off the part of the branch that is perfectly developing coffee here. So that's, oops, zien nooit. I tell you one thing, man, this is heavy work. It's not really enjoyable if you gotta go crawl down everywhere and then you gotta look straight up, you know, you can see the sun is there, you know, I'm sweating all the way. Truly heavy, it's heavy work. And it looks like you're just cutting off branches, but it's really like you gotta move around, and like here stuck again, a lot of these branches. Look at this, only this one here. How many? You see that? It's not like you just have one or two branches to cut. You gotta constantly, each coffee plant needs to be done like dozens at a time. So it just takes hours per day, you know, to just maintain the quality of the coffee plant. According to Itam, when the coffee trees are well taken care of, then we'll produce fruit properly. The harvesting time is in November and December. However, a successful coffee season still depends a lot on the right weather. Now for me it stands out that living in the Central Highlands is not a place that is easy. So it hardens the people here. I can see it in their eyes, I can see it in their faces that they have a hard life, because it's physically draining to work every day at the coffee farm. You think about a beautiful cup of coffee, you enjoy drinking it, but having seen where the coffee comes from and also how the local people, they in a way farm the coffee plant. So that's an eye-opener for me, to respect for the coffee farmer. Up till now, the Ede people have been living in traditional houses, although some of them have been replaced by brick ones. An interesting fact is that the Ede still maintain matriarchy in their society. The French brought coffee to the Central Highlands, but it's very much the locals here that turned coffee into their own culture. As a coffee lover, a person who drinks coffee almost every day, I enjoyed learning much more about how the coffee really is an integral part of the Central Highlands. Today I'm a special guest of Halum's family. I'm the first foreigner to come to her house, so she prepares coffee for me to show her hospitality. In the Ede family, they always have green beans in their kitchen. They will prepare fresh coffee when they welcome guests. Mrs. Halum is over 70 years old. She doesn't speak Vietnamese, so her granddaughter is a translator for me and her.
Hôm nay là có khách đặc biệt là cho nên là bà mới pha cà phê như thế này, và cà phê này thì không có pha các chất phụ gia nào hết, tức là làm từ nguyên chất luôn, rất là thơm và ngon.
Let's start with the cooking process or the roasting process. In the beginning I was a bit like, is this gonna work, yes or no? Because you have a pan, you got a fire without gas, so one time it's too much fire, the other time it's hardly any fire. I'm like, how to control the temperature of the pan?
Từ ngày xưa thì ông bà già đã rang cà phê đơn giản như thế này rồi ạ. Và muốn cà phê ngon thì lửa phải đều.
Ăn chậm năm.
Như vậy thì uống nó mới ngon được.
Ba ơi, chào mừng lắm. Có được không?
Dạ.
Ba dễ chào làm gì?
Rang đều.
Đây.
Cái này, đây này.
Vâng.
Lạch hẹ ở. Đây này.
Phải làm đều tay thì cũng ngon.
Đây là.
Đây cái này.
Vâng.
Ngạ quỳ lùn chặt ngạ quỳ lùn hẹ.
Đây là lửa mà nhiều thì uống không có ngon. Lửa nó phải đều đều nhỏ.
Something that stood out for me is that she used the sticks. So sometimes she moves the sticks away from the fire, then she moves the stick in the fire to control the heat. You know, I'm not really sure if I am preparing the coffee beans in a good way, so I gave the stick back to Ba, because she knows really well how to control the fire. Yes, you got to be careful not to have a fire too strong, otherwise you will burn the beans too much. And secondly, you got to stir in a certain way to make sure that each bean will be perfectly roasted and burnt. Và em có thích uống cà phê không?
Dạ tất nhiên rồi, sáng nào là lúc nào em cũng phải có một cốc cà phê.
Rồi. Và bao nhiêu cốc?
Thì nếu mà em thì thường uống nhẹ thôi thì em pha cỡ 2 thìa. Dạ. Nếu mà muốn uống mạnh á, thì cỡ 3 hoặc 4 thìa là được.
Rồi. Anh rất yêu uống cà phê, rất thích. Em thích uống cà phê đi cà phê hoặc thích uống ở đây, ở nhà?
Thì lúc nào thì bạn bè cũng hay rủ ra quán uống cà phê, nhưng mà với ở nhà lúc nào cũng có một cái hương vị nó đặc trưng của cà phê hơn, nên em vẫn thích là uống cà phê ở nhà.
Thế à? After the coffee beans are roasted perfectly, the next step is to grind them. Every step here is done by hand. I did not know how to adjust the fire to roast the coffee beans properly, so I'm determined to do this step well. It's a bit of extra physical labor that you need to put in, but it's not really bad. I've just been told by Pa that my technique is not the perfect one to get the good ground coffee. We need to lift up the stick and then press it down like this. This is the perfect technique Ba just told me. Whew. Finally, it's time for me to enjoy coffee in the 8-day tradition. Lovely bitter taste. I like it that you, it's almost like from the farm to the cup, literally in this house. So you can have the beauty of the ground coffee here. And you just use a little filter, like almost like a drip coffee filter like normally you have in the coffee shop. But I feel like the taste of it it's much more earthy, it's much more flavorful when you drink it here in the countryside than you drink it in the coffee shop.
Dạ, từ ngày xưa thì cà phê bằng vải là truyền thống của người Ede rồi, cho nên là dù bây giờ con cháu nó cứ có uống ở ngoài quán như thế nào thì về đây thì là phải uống cà phê mà được pha bằng vải như thế này.
Có dọc phê còn nằm lu qua năm làm năm mơ đừng coi năm phê này.
Bà uống cà phê là từ năm 12 tuổi và mỗi sáng là bà đều lúc nào cũng phải có một tách cà phê. Bà pha lên cho cả nhà để uống. Trong nhân lúc mà uống cà phê buổi sáng mà quay quần ở phòng khách là bà dạy dỗ con cháu là làm việc rồi học hành như thế nào đó.
In the Ede family, it's the mother who makes the coffee. And it's almost you can see that when the mother is doing something in the household, for example, making the coffee, the rest of the family will gather around the mother. The beautiful thing is it's not that I learned by watching, it's coffee that taught me all about Ede culture. Sitting in their traditional house, sipping coffee in a sunny afternoon, suddenly I recognize the value of life here. What they do is a way of nurturing the soul by staying close to the nature. Here, hardly no signs of modernization or industrialization. Life happens as it was before, and I feel happiness can be found in these simple ways of living. Vietnamese coffee in general, and Bummatut coffee in particular, have been recognized on the world market. However, there are two people who cherish their dreams to further confirm the value of Vietnamese coffee and create their own paths of success. I met with Tung, a young businessman with the determination to bring clean coffee to everyone. Tung named his business Azan. In Hebrew this means community power. This name to some extent expresses the will of the founders of Azan Coffee. I'm visiting Azan's coffee plantations. Unlike the coffee gardens planted by farmers, Azan coffee plantations are built on scientific and careful calculations to ensure coffee quality, from the first step to the final step.
Đây là giống cà phê Robusta.
Vâng.
Ở Buôn Ma Thuột, Đắk Lắk thì là trên 85% là trồng cà phê Robusta. Ở Việt Nam thì cà phê Robusta thì đang có cái sản lượng là đứng thứ 2 trên thế giới. Tất cả trang trại ở Azan đây là được trồng chăm sóc theo một quy trình khép kín, hạn chế 4 phân hóa học và hoàn toàn không phun thuốc trừ sâu và không có diệt cỏ bằng thuốc và làm cỏ bằng tay và ưu tiên sử dụng phân hữu cơ. Và tất cả sau khi đến cái quy trình thu hoạch thì hoàn toàn là phải lựa quả 900% và được chế biến theo những cái quy trình khép kín của Azan.
It was a joy for me to interact with the guys and they could show me their quality and be proud of it. They had the confidence to show to us the pure coffee that they make. I'm challenged to do a test. Can I recognize the pure flavors of the native coffee in the Central Highlands? Phuong, co-founder of Azan Coffee, prepares a casual cupping for me. According to Phuong, this is an opportunity for me to recognize the pure taste of coffee from the Central Highlands, through which I can detect the flavored coffee.
Here we have three types of coffee. 2 samples of Robusta and 1 sample of Arabica. This one is very different from the processing.
And he focuses on 2 things. What I liked is the first one is the aroma. So you gotta smell it. And the second one, of course, is the flavor. So you gotta use the taste, your tongue. For me, personally, I focus more or less only on the flavor because that's mostly what we focus on when you drink coffee.
This is, I put it randomly. The cocoa.
He didn't put it on order, just to test how I can smell the different aromas. And I think I got it right. So he asked me to put it in pairs. So we got 3 different ones, as you explained. We have 1 Arabica, we have 2 Robusta, and then there's a difference between the 2 ways how they make the Robusta bean. I think I got the pairing right, but let me see if the expert is agreeing with me. I kind of think this one has a darker, deeper aroma in it. It's almost like you can flavor, you can smell the ground, the soil, the earth of the plant coming through this one.
Exactly. That is the word we use to describe the flavor of this one. The soil, goody and earthy.
Yes.
Just flavor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time I experienced such a cupping session. Although it is informal, I still find it quite useful for coffee lovers like me to understand the real coffee.
And you try to slip down the water. The taste gonna be very different. Some coffee, the aroma is very good.
As I listen to your explanation, I feel like it's really, you have a good academic point of view on your coffee.
Yes.
And is that something that you find important? Is it that important to have like a scientific approach?
We control the quality very carefully. And from my opinion, 3 points affect directly to the quality of the bean. First one is the quality of the green bean.
Yes.
Second one is the machine. And last one is the technique of the roaster. To have a good coffee, you have to control that 3 points.
And you do not use flavors.
Yes.
You don't add additives to
Yes,
cheat.
we must
almost
not-
to cheat, almost like you have
Yeah,
maybe a
adding
mediocre bean. Oh, let's add some flavors so that
Yeah.
we can still have a good one.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
You're honest about your quality of the bean. They spoke about their trades with such passion. And then the other side was how they focus on the quality control. But it's almost like a scientific approach to create a perfect cup of coffee. For me, I think shows their passion, their skill, but also their belief in Vietnam. Is that these guys, they said to us like, no. We haven't imported anything from abroad. It's 100% Vietnamese. And they said, this is the future of the country. We need to create pure Vietnamese, good quality products that stand out in the world market. And I do believe that these guys are on the right path to master this technique of brewing the best cup of coffee.
My journey to the Central Highlands ended with a flood of emotion. I've seen the culture of mountains and forests, which is as durable as the groundwater absorbed into the life here. I met the lovely elephants in their mahouts, which make a culture of elephants only found in the Central Highlands. And now I'm sitting here with a cup of pure coffee from the Central Highlands, taking in the sunshine and the wind on this beautiful plateau. And above all, I've experienced the beautiful culture and lifestyle, having met loving people here. They've shown me how to nurture my soul and stay in touch with nature.